But from pharma space, let's just focus now to the metal space because a few earnings are expected from that space today. First up on Tata Steel, and Nigel, as always, joins us with the key expectations. Morning, Nigel.
Well, morning, Anisha. Before we get to the numbers, well, just in the recent past, Tata Steel has been doing all the right things. They exited the Southeast Asian business. They were the lucky loser in terms of what's happened with Bhushan Power, in terms of that bid. And also remember, we have raw material costs that are going up, but Tata Steel is fairly, backward integrated because they get almost all their iron ore from captive sources, and coking coal close to around 30%, roughly that amount is what they get from captive sources. So the stock has been a bit of a run in the last 10 days or so. It's gained nearly around 10% from the lows of around 440 odd. Getting to the numbers then, top line growth, what we are working with is around 23% odd. Margin should expand by around 100 basis points or thereabouts, and profit number at around 2,200 crores. That's where all the unimportant numbers really end for Tata Steel. For Tata Steel, you're looking at the geographic breakup and how every geography really fared. And as we have seen in the last few quarters, India is the most important piece out there. So let's talk about India right away. We already have the provisional numbers in terms of sales volumes. That's seen a downtick of close to around 10%. So sales volumes for all the geographies actually are lower on a year-on-year basis. But realizations will drive the performance. And that's why the EBITDA per ton, that's going to come in higher on a year-on-year basis, should come in at around 16,600 rupees on a per ton basis. So it'll look quite good on a year-on-year basis, though on a sequential basis, you'll see a correction of around 1,500 to around 2,000 rupees. What doesn't work in their favor on a sequential basis? International prices have corrected, so that doesn't help. And maybe some weakness in terms of ferrochrome prices as well. That's a smaller part of their business. Remember, in fact, there have been steel companies that have been giving discounts as well. Shifting focus to the European business, there the EBITDA per ton you're working with is around $42 on a per ton basis. So keep an eye out on that business. Southeast Asia, that's already sold out. But in fact, out there, the volumes, we already have those numbers. That's already degrown. And Bhushan Power, Bhushan Steel, in fact, that's the newly acquired asset. That's been delivering quite good numbers. EBITDA that they delivered, we already have that number, is more than 1,000 crores. So keep an eye out on these set of numbers. EBITDA per ton for the standalone business, most crucial.
All right, Nigel, thanks a lot for that. We will keep an eye out on what takes place on Tata Steel. But from the ferrous space to the non-ferrous space, Nalco, what is the street working with?
Well, Nalco on a year-on-year basis will look very good. On a year-on-year basis, those numbers will look great. On a sequential basis, we'll see a bit of a compression in terms of margins. Going through a poll, top-line growth of around 10%. Year-on-year margins will expand by nearly around 800 basis points or thereabouts. Though on a sequential basis, it'll correct from around 28% to around 22%. And profit number should come in higher by around 25%. What are the factors really that impact them? Realizations of aluminium as well as alumina. On a year-on-year basis, that's really what will drive it. Remember, from the top, in fact, aluminium prices have corrected. So LME aluminium prices, we track that closely. That's, settled below that $2,000 on a per ton basis. And alumina prices, I remember just in the last year, they'd gone all the way to around $650 to around $700 on a per ton basis. That's come down to sub $450 on a per ton basis. On a sequential basis, that's what hurts them. We have Motilal's estimates in terms of volumes. Aluminium volumes expecting around 112,000 approximately, and aluminium business, the total volumes expected is around 330,000 odd. Remember, the aluminium business will struggle because of the inter-segment profitability. So alumina, the higher the alumina profitability, the more the aluminium business gets hit because that's a raw material cost for them. Other issues you need to track is the coal availability. What's the recent tender gone at in terms of alumina? Those are going to be the crucial factors. Remember, the stock was at around 95 rupees just a few months ago. Currently, it's settled below that 60 rupees per share mark.
Okay, Nigel, thank you so much for that, getting us the expectations from Tata Steel as well as Nalco.